Biafra, superstars, media.
My people, now how on a day? How on a day today? I say good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, depending from where you listen to the sound of my voice. This is the Biafra Superstars Media. Fellow Biafrans, listeners all across the world, I want to say rejoice, rejoice, rejoice. It is not yet Uhuru for that so-called Nigeria. It is not yet the point of El Dorado where they start to thank Jesus, their Allah, for what happened to Simon Ekpa in Finland. It is clear that these guys don't understand the rule of law when it comes to a country outside the spectrum of that damnable republic called Nigeria. Even their media, to an extent, they are not aware. They don't have the information. They are naive to a certain level. So today, I will take my time to educate this journalist and perhaps the guest he has in that TV station. But I think I will spend more time on the journalist so that going forward, he'll be up to date. He will have a good knowledge of what is happening to Simon Ekpa in Finland and the case that was against him, the charges that were brought against him, and also what he was found or convicted for in a district court. A district court is just like a lower court in your community. Things you guys don't have in that so-called Nigeria, because in Nigeria, your governor can control what is happening in your local courts and all those things. But in the Western world, things are different. In most cases, you won't even have a real judge to hear the case. Or you may have just one real judge and the two others that will agree or disagree with the judge, they will just be from where? They will be more like a layman, someone who just, were appointed. Independent people coming in to hear a case. So the district court is just something of a lesser value. It's more like bringing the court closer to the people. Then you now have the appeal court and the Supreme Court. Appeal court is where you now have proper judges, seasoned judges, similar to those that you call your SAN in that so-called Nigeria. And Simon Ekpa may now have the privilege to hire his own judge. Because in the district court, you don't have to hire your own judge. Finland will provide you a judge. A lawyer. Pardon my French. So in a district court, they don't allow you in most cases to hire a lawyer. The Finnish government will provide for you a lawyer. In the appeal court, you may now hire your own lawyer. That's to show you how low in the hierarchy of things the court system is. The district court in Lati was the lowest, then appeal court, and ultimately the Supreme Court. But that's not where I'm going. I want us to hear the conversation between these two men. And it will blow your mind. It will show you how unaware, how naive Nigerian media, Nigerian people are when it comes to the case of Simon Ekpa. Fellow Biafrans, listeners all across the world, if you are ready, follow me on this journey while I take paper and pen, while I take a chalk to write on the board and educate these two elderly men. If you are ready, let's go there. Listen to how crazy their discussion is. How inept, how shallow, how uneducated their discussion is when it comes to the case of Simon Ekpa. It is clear they've done no research. It is clear they've not gotten any first-hand information. Primary source, the evidence. Perhaps they won't get it because Finland will not share such with them. But we, being a bona fide stakeholder in the case of Simon Ekpa, we've gone through those papers. We've gone through the judgment papers. And it is clear that Simon Ekpa has no case to answer. It is not yet the point of El Dorado, where they start to say, hurrah, hurrah. Because you will hear them speak about when Samanapa finished his so-called sentence in Finland, they want to bring Nigeria, want to bring him back to Nigeria to now go through it again. What they call double jeopardy in the League of Nations. That's how shallow, how inept these guys are. If you are ready, let's go there. Listen.
Thank you very much, as always, Dennis, for coming on the program to talk about these matters.
Thank you. Thank you for having me, Yori.
My pleasure. The news of his, one didn't, I don't know, not everybody heard of his arrest, but certainly by yesterday, there were pictures in the papers where he was seen in court, and now he's been sentenced to 6 years, showing that the Finns themselves take a very dim view of the kind of things he was charged with, and actually have managed to find him guilty and sentence him to 6 years. How did you feel about that news? Because I don't know that anybody saw it coming.
I think we saw it coming. He was arrested. It was well publicized. And of course, the Finnish government decided to try him. He has been in the prison custody for a while. They took him to court. And then, of course, what many people might not know is that the Nigerian government, especially the National Intelligence Agency, Foreign Affairs, and the DSS, has been working with the Finnish government and giving them compelling evidence, with which yesterday they used in, convicting him.
Indeed, because
hold it there. First of all, when you want to speak about the collaboration between Nigerian zoo government and Finland, why don't you paint the bigger brush? What led to this collaboration? That's the problem. We all know about the oil and gas contract in Lekki that Finland had some few months ago, and we heard the president of Finland speaking boldly that Finland is about to send their agencies throughout Africa. They went to Kenya. Of course, we saw them in Nigeria. The agencies, when they speak about the word agencies, because sometimes Finland is not an English-speaking country, so you have to be careful. Be meticulous in your approach. When you see a non-English-speaking country using some kind of words, you see me, I have the memory of an elephant. I don't forget things. I don't forget quotations of whatever somebody says. I don't forget the definition of words when they are peculiar and when they are unique. I paint a picture in my mind and keep those words as a buzzword, as a keyword, as a theme. When I say theme, Theme. In this case, after they got that contract, when Finland got a contract with Nigeria, the oil and gas contract in Lekki, in Lagos, the Finnish president came out and said that Finland is now on the verge of collaborating with Africa. And they are ready to start sending out their agencies throughout Africa to see a way they can work with them when it comes to science, health, and education. In the case of Kenya, they were stressing more about their healthcare system with Kenya. They've gone there. They've done a deal with them as well. In fact, the Finnish president and the wife, they visited Kenya about 2-3 months ago. Fellow Biafrans, I don't make mistake. Today, I want to educate these two men in the studio of that zoo called Nigeria. The zoo media, the Yoruba media, as we call it. I call it spade is paid. So when he was speaking about the word agency, I mean the president of Finland, that this is a new wave now that Finland is ready to collaborate with Africa. They will be sending out their agencies throughout Africa. He mentioned Nigeria, he mentioned Kenya. And before we know it, something else happened. Suddenly we saw the foreign affairs ministers from the Scandinavian countries. They all were invited to Nigeria by the one they call Yusuf Tuga. Yusuf Tuga, a Fulani man. And we all saw them discuss whatever. And a few weeks after, we heard that Bianca Ojukwu has been given a position of the State for Foreign Affairs, which means she is working under Yusuf Tugtuga, who is the Minister for Foreign Affairs. I took my time. I knew that Jagaband I know so well. He claims he's smart. He thinks he's smart, but he's always up to something. I saw the red flag for the fact they gave our leader's wife, Ojukwu, our eternal leader's wife, Ojukwu, a position, a role in the government of Tinubu. I saw a red flag. I raised out my concerns with Obatobie. I made videos about it, and also Simon Ekpa'S spoke about it, where he said, Bianca, mind your business. We ain't stopping you from taking a job role, but don't cross my path. Mind your business, and you will not be part of my business. Those were the exact words used by Simon Ekpa in one of the programs. I wrote a business case, told Simon Ekpa the risk of having this woman in the government of Tinubu, because she is, to call a spade, the third wife of Ojukwu. I understand during the Biafran war, we must respect the one they call Njideka Ojukwu, the one that took care of all the children of Ojukwu and Philip Effiong. During the time when they were fighting the war, she was the real mother of Biafra. She nurtured those children. Even when Ojukwu left the shores of Biafra, she made sure that she took care of those children. The children of Ojukwu and Philip Effiong. So respect to the real Mama Biafra, the one they call Njideka Ojukwu. I have no respect for Bianca Onowu. She has sold herself. She is fighting tooth and nail to embed herself in the system of Nigeria. She loved it. That's the problem with these glamour girls. When a leader in his old age starts looking around and trying to please the flesh, that's when they make such big mistakes. Because our leader has no business. He had no business marrying a so-called glamour girl like Bianca Ojukwu. But I digress. When Alexander Stubb was speaking about sending in the agencies into Africa, and suddenly we got the wind of the contract given to Finland by Nigeria. Today I will reveal a bit of how I communicate with Obatobie. We got the wind of the contract given to Finland by Nigeria, oil and gas. Then we were wondering where the location was. Is it in Biafra land? Because that would have been a taboo. But perhaps Finland was being careful. So they said, please give us a contract outside the scope, outside the borders of Biafra, because it would be, the interest would be that there will be a clashing one there, because we know Simon Ekpa hails from Finland. So the Zoo government gave them the contract in Lekki, in Lagos. And when the man kept on speaking everywhere he went, the president of Finland was speaking about agency, the agencies of Finland are coming to Africa, the agencies. Finland is happy to send in their agencies. I said, Finnish is not an English-speaking country. So I took my time to go back to the word agency and understand the meaning from the viewpoint. What does he mean when he says agency, going around the whole Africa? Finnish agencies, what does he mean? And I came with the proper definition of it after cross-checking 2 or 3 different dictionary meaning of the word agency. And from memory, it means a business or an organization that is ready, underline the word ready to provide a particular service on behalf of a government, an organization, an individual, a conglomerate, a consortium, a cartel, or a group. Do you not get it? More like a business and an organization that is ready. They are 100% ready to go to provide a particular service. So it means they are they've got the expertise in the services that they are looking for, that they can provide in the contracts they are looking for. They have what they call the comparative advantage and the competitive advantage. So the agencies, once they come, for example, most of you, when you're going for your visa, you go through an agency. Why? The agency has the perfect knowledge on how to go about applying for your visas or whatever. They have the latest information, the up-to-date policies, the guidelines when it comes to your threshold, the financial threshold, how to meet the requirement for the visa for that particular country. Different countries have their own different rules in terms of immigration and migration. So you have to go through an agency to make sure that you are going to the right source of those who have a perfect knowledge, and raise your chances of meeting your own goals of getting a visa. So I was wondering, this man is up to something. And suddenly we found out that the first collaboration was the contract. I'll get back to this man speaking. The first collaboration between Nigeria and Finland was the contract of oil and gas in Lekki. Perhaps Finland would have said, please, can we choose somewhere outside from the Biafra region? And they gave them the one in Lekki. Then suddenly we saw the handshake between Shettima and the president of Finland. And before you could say Jack Robinson, we now saw Bianca Onowu, the wife of Ojukwu, or the ex-wife, I don't care, of the late great man, Ojukwu, emerge and was playing a role in government in Nigeria. That's the scope of Tinubu, the old school of thought, where you say, okay, to destroy somebody, get something from within that element. In the Yorubas, they will say, kokoro tonje efo, ara efo lowa. The ant, when they eat the vegetable, now for the body of the vegetable, the ant they. I learned all these things when I was in Lagos because my mind was so vast. I could speak so many languages and all that stuff when I was in that zoo because my mind is so vast. I have the memory of an elephant. And suddenly, we saw before the so-called arrest or questioning of Simon Ekpa, Bianca Onowu went to Finland. And I believe there is somebody else called the interior minister or whatever. They went to Finland to table the case, where Bianca Onowu said, my husband, Ojukwu, was the one that fought the Biafran war. And I am here speaking on the authority of my husband. That what Simon Ekpa is doing in Finland has nothing to do with the vision that my husband had when it comes to Biafra. So I'm here with all the documentation from the Nigerian government to let you know that Simon Ekpa is not for us. Simon Ekpa is not fighting for Biafra. And Simon Ekpa does not have the vision of my leader or Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and the rest of them. I also heard there was a testimony, written or video, by the wife or the ex-wife of Nnamdi Kanu, Uchechi Kanu, where she said, my husband Nnamdi Kanu, yes, he is the leader of IPOB currently in Nigeria, but I am telling you that he has nothing to do with Simon Ekpa. What Simon Ekpa is doing is something that we all are even shocked that it's been going on for that long. He is not a follower of Nnamdi Kanu. He is not a member of IPOB and the rest of them. When they spoke those ways, they sent in the document from Nigeria. And before you knew it, the so-called partnership between Nigeria and Finland continued. So I had to school this man. I took my time to take this man to school for him to understand the beginning of the so-called partnership between Nigeria and Finland. Finland was cajoled by the so-called oil and gas contract. A contract that was not tendered out. No other company, no other country, no other consortium, no other conglomerate came together to bid for that contract. It's not done in the Western world. For any contract, there must be a tender. The oil and gas contract that Nigeria gave to Finland, indirectly, that was a bribe because it was not advertised. They just took it and gave to a particular person, not checking the pedigree of that country, not checking in terms of cost effectiveness, which other country or company or consortium can deal with that contract more effectively. No, what they did was to cajole Finland. They tied their hands were tied. Finland understood what Nigeria was doing. Their hands were tied. So the first so-called partnership, collaboration between Finland and Nigeria came from the advent of the oil and gas contract. Let's continue. Lesson number 1. I hope this man has learnt it now. So let's take it back and hear what he said again. Listen.
And of course, the Finnish government decided to try him. He has been in the prison custody for a while. They took him to court, and then of course, what many people might not know is that the Nigerian government, especially the National Intelligence Agency, Foreign Affairs, and the DSS, has been working with the Finnish government and giving them compelling evidence, with which yesterday they used in, convicting him.
Indeed, because it is stated that he was jailed for terrorism-related activities, and there have been no reports that this terrorism extended to Finland, but he has always been instigating violence. And I imagine the charges would have been framed around that particular fact, that he's been inciting violence for him back home in Nigeria. And I think ultimately the Finns found that they just had to do something about this matter because the evidence apparently was overwhelming. I don't know, first of all, his rise. How do you think this 40-year-old gentleman, as I said in the opening, he's from Ebonyi State, Ohaku in particular, and he went over to Finland as maybe part of IPOB, certainly, but now he's even styled himself the Prime Minister. He's styled himself the Prime Minister of IPOB.
Hold it there. Education number 2. Simon Ekpa did not style himself or call himself or superimpose upon himself. They say the self-acclaimed Prime Minister of IPOB. He never said that. As a journalist, I expected you to have done your research before you invite someone to speak on a topic as sensitive as this one. You see, this is a problem. You guys, you are naive. You keep on thinking stupid things from your, let me not insult you guys, but where did you have that information from? It's in your head all this while. That he called himself, he named himself the Prime Minister of IPOB. To the Yoruba media, I know your intention is to find a way to rope down Nnamdi Kanu. We know the games you guys are playing, but please, when you are quoting somebody, take your time to get some key points down from the question you want to ask somebody, your visitor, your guest in the studio. Take your time to carry out a due diligence of doing a simple research on the questions you want to ask. Never a time did he call himself or named himself the Prime Minister of IPOB. Instead, we the Biafrans, we made him the Prime Minister of the Biafra Republic government in exile. There was a government in exile. We had a cabinet, we have a team, we had a structure. Everything was going great. Not IPOB. We have no business with IPOB. By nature, yes, we are IPOB by nature, which means the indigenous people of Biafra, the 80 million Biafran plus, we are all IPOB by nature. But that doesn't mean that he said he is the president of IPOB. He is, or he was, the president of the Biafra Republic of in exile. And in the month 29th of November 2024, Biafra was redeclared in Latin Finland, Finland. So I will catch you with that point soon. The same Finland that you said, oh, he calls Ekpa a terrorist. He was convicted as a terrorist. We all assembled in Finland from the 29th of November 2024 till the 3rd of December in a 5-day convention. A 5-day convention. We were there for 5 days. So if Ekpa, yes, by then he was being questioned by Finland. If they assumed he was a terrorist, then we, more than 2,000 Biafrans that came, assembled in Finland for the convention, they would have perhaps created one of the biggest prisons in Europe or in Finland and made sure that every one of us was locked up as terrorists. This is how shallow, how naive you guys are in Nigeria. You don't understand your law because Nigeria has inflicted upon you guys a trauma of poverty and naivety that you can never regain your senses from. I don't care if you like, go to school, get first class for Nigeria, you are wasting your time. Poverty has messed up your mind, body, and soul. You guys cannot reason anymore. Look at him here, calling Ekpa. He said he is the president of IPOB. Where did he ever say that? Show me one quote. Do your research. Ekpa, prime minister of what? At least AI or Google will tell you. ChatGPT, Ekpa, he's the prime minister of what? It will tell you and break it down and even give you a historical background with timeline. From those information, you will now draw out some points and write it down that you will ask this man. If this man don't know the answer, you will now lead him. You will guide him towards his answer so that he will now skip to your loo. That's how it's done in the Western world. Basic things you guys don't do because it's not the best of you that work in those TV channels. That's the problem. Because the basic things, you guys don't do it. You guys, you are inept, you are shallow, you are myopic in the way you reason in that so-called Nigeria. You guys, you are backward. You are a backward country. And now it has spilled all over on the citizens of that so-called Nigeria. Those who claim they're citizens. Slaves, artisans, peasants in that so-called Nigeria. You guys don't reason. Ekpa said he is the prime minister of IPOB. That's it. Giving a dog, making a caricature of something, and he's not even intelligent enough to break it down. They have no idea, they have no clue of what is happening. Yet, they claim to be journalists. They are working on a TV station of your so-called president, Jagaban. These guys, they are very, very inept, very shallow-minded, uneducated in a job role that they are doing in that zone. So how can you compete with the Western world now? No wonder. You guys are a bunch of local champions. You love Nigeria because Nigeria has given you a job that you know in your lifetime you can never work in a highly competitive country like in USA, in CNN, in BBC, in Sky, in Fox. People like you can never get job even as a cleaner in those TV stations. So you love Nigeria because Nigeria has given you a job that you ain't qualified to do. Because your information are weak. They are baseless. They make no meaning. Ekpa never declared himself as the prime minister of IPOB. Quote me anywhere. Hear him one more time when he said Ekpa is now the prime minister of IPOB. He declared himself. Listen.
First of all, his rise. How do you think this 40-year-old gentleman, as I said in the opening, he's from Ebonyi State, Ohaku in particular, and he went over to Finland as maybe part of IPOB, certainly, but now he's even styled himself the the prime minister. He's starting the prime minister of IPOB. And as
Hold it there. He was even reading it though. It means he wrote some points and he wrote a wrong information down. I thought he was just, having it offhand. No, he wrote it down. Watch him read his book and spill out no nonsense. Watch this. Watch.
he's from Ebonyi State, Ohaku in particular, and he went over to Finland as
Watch
maybe
him bow his
part of
head.
IPOB, certainly. But now he's even styled himself he's the prime minister. He's styled himself the prime minister of IPOB. And as
Now, he was even reading from the book. He styled himself as the prime minister of IPOB. Hey, Yoruba media. Hey, now wow. Went your problem, so we the Biafrans, Yoruba, we are not your problem, so. Nobody will be your problem. We are not the one taking over or your state now, or your resources. We are not the one that stole Kwara from you, Ilorin. We are not your problem. The Lagos that you are flogging us cane for, Lagos, you are flogging us cane. Lagos was once the capital of that zoo called Nigeria. Don't forget that. The same way in Abuja now, it is the capital of that zoo called Nigeria. Every Tom, Dick, and Harry is going there. Every company, they have their head office in Abuja. Every Nigerian, whatever, they are there. Every civil service head office, branches, they are there. Even the embassies of around the whole world, they are there. It is normal. So with time, Abuja will now become the melting pot where every tribe will, be there. They have to locate to the center. And 30 years from now, 40 years from now, Abuja will now have probably the status of Lagos. So are you going to tell me if in 100 years they now move the capital of, that zoo called Nigeria from Abuja, maybe to Bauchi or to Kaduna, does that mean that those who have lived in Abuja for 30 years, 40 years, 50 years, while going through all those stuffs, those changes, working in the capital, does that mean suddenly you tell them to go away? They had their children grew up in Abuja. Does that mean you say, oh, they have come to steal your land? To the Yorubas, be careful. This mistake you guys are making. Biafrans are not your problems. We have no business with you. To call a spade, all we want to do is go home. What we want to do is go back home. But every time when we are, dealing with the enemy, when we know those who are slowing us down, you're always dipping your nose into our affairs. You the pop nose. Now they pop nose every time. And I ask myself, why do you guys choose to always step in for the caliphate? Why do you always choose to do that? When you know the relationship you have with Nigeria, with the Fulani Kakalabal, you know what they did to you. The only people in this world that have stolen your land are who? The Fulani Cabal. In the story of Afonja and Alimi. The story of Afonja and Alimi. You know that story? How they thought they had the best relationship. But suddenly, the son of Alimi, the offspring of Alimi, the one they call Abdul Salami, stepped in at a time when Afonja was old and Alimi was old. In their old age, they enjoyed a wonderful relationship until old age. Abdul Salami now grew up and said he is now the strongest. He has the strongest army and he must be the king of Ilorin. And whoever disagrees with him, come to the battleground. To the Yorubas, you chicken out, you ran away. The real people of Ilorin, they went to where? Oyo? I know your history. I took my time. While I was digging to find out what problems does the Biafrans and the Igbos have. I mean, the Biafrans and the Yorubas have. I couldn't find any. What clash do we have? Nothing. Except the so-called one, they say, oh, the Biafrans during the war, they want to go and conquer Lagos. They got to Ore. They wanted to conquer Lagos. Then Lagos was the capital, I believe. So if you're at war, what do? You go and hoist your flag in the heartbeat of the enemy's camp. But let me digress, because sometimes what I don't understand is you guys claim you are the most educated in that so-called Nigeria, but every time when it comes to the Fulani Kakabal, you guys start to act stupid. You start to pretend you don't know stuff anymore. You start to act, like an infant. That's my anger with you guys. When it comes to the cabal, suddenly your wisdom of saying, oh, the Igbos, oh, they have bought land here, oh, you come with all the facts. But when it comes to the cabal, you forget those things and you pretend. You say there's a partnership between you and the cabal. Up to an extent, Mietiala, they came to Oyo State, and the Yoruba elders, you sign an agreement pact with Mietiala that now their headsmen can come with their cows to eat the grass of Yoruba land amicably, in peace. You guys signed those contracts. The Igbo man didn't come with a gun to tell you to sign a contract or to sell your land to them. They came with cash. They came with the dollars. They came with the greenbacks. And you were happy to take it. You were happy to sell those lands twice the price. You were happy to sell your father's property twice the price. And you took the money and left to the Western world. And now today you are pop-nosing on what they are doing in that land. What's your business? You have sold it to the Yorubas. The Biafrans are not your problem. I keep saying this. Now, they find out our trouble. Now, they find our trouble. Allow the cabal to analyze Simon Ekpa. Leave us alone. Let us deal with those who are giving us this problem. But every time you pop nose in, that's the problem I have with you guys. When you had your problem with the Fulani cabal back then, in the case of MKO Abiola, the Biafrans, we didn't choose side. Most of us, we left. They call it the Osho Abiola, the race. For Abiola, we ran away because we knew that they will find a way to say, okay, like the Igbo coup, blame the Igbos. And most of us, we died in the process. The Biafrans died more in the case of Abiola and Babangida and Abacha. Also, Abiola, you know this thing, but you pretend like you don't know it. They killed one of the most prominent men from Yoruba land. They killed your great men during that time period. Even the wife of Abiola was killed by the Fulani cabal. But somehow, you that claim you're very, very wise, you are forgetting those things. They pied Bola Ige. They pied what's this guy's name again? Giwa. I believe that's his name. The guy they bombed with the letter bomb. Yeah? They pied your very best. The Igbos not do it, but till this day, you still hate the Igbo. And one Igbo. What he do? Eh? Ronu, and one Igbo. What he do? What do you hate about us? When we've done nothing to you guys. Sometimes I wonder. Sometimes I ponder. Sometimes I think out loud, asking myself, where did this problem between we and the Yorubas even come from? If it's your food, we eat your food. Amala, we do begiri shaki, oferiro, obeja, everything in shaki, fufuku, edo. We chop all those things. Ewedu, ila, oferiro, everything. We eat your food with passion. We respect it. We appreciate it. Imagine a Biafra man going to a canteen and I'm eating Yoruba food there. Because we didn't see any problem between you guys and us. But something changed. I know where the problem came from, but you, because in your culture, you have refused to checkmate your so-called elders. Baba Sokwe, Oba Sosokwe, Baba Sokwe, Baba Sokwe, respect your elders. You call old men who are criminals your elders. A drug man who sells drugs, who was convicted in USA, you call him your elder. So you are doing politics and tribalism for your so-called elder. That's the problem. That side of your culture has to be updated. Say no, an elder should be anyone who is upright. I don't care if you are rich or poor, but if you have the wisdom, you are intelligent at old age, and you are upright, then that's the person that you can call an elder. Not old man who is a thief. And because he's old, you say, okay, elder, go with him, Rono, Yoruba, Rono, on the Igbos. And I wonder, where did this problem come from? I've taken my time. Land, during those days, land was the main issue. The main resource was land. And we never stole your land for once. Let me digress, because sometimes I wonder, Yoruba media, Nnamdi Kanu called you out. Then I was wondering, oh no, but why? Why will he call out the Yoruba media? But now I see why he was doing it. I'm in his shoes now. And I see why Nnamdi Kanu was calling you guys out. Because you throw those buzzwords out. Oh, Simon Ekpa said he's the prime minister of IPOB. This didn't come from the Fulani. This did not come from the Fulani and their media. It is coming from the Yoruba media. You guys must be fair. You guys must be fair. I put it to you, when Chief Sunday Adeyemo, aka Sunday Igboho, when he was having his problems with the Buhari government, go and check the Biafran media in the East. We said nothing about Chief Sunday Igboho. In fact, he was being praised as a noble man for doing the right thing to protect his people, for speaking out, for being an advocate for his people. We praised him. Nobody came here from the Eastern media to lie, to give a false narrative. We never did that, but every time in our own case, when we are dealing with the enemy, with the cabal, the Yoruba will step in quick, say, the Igbos, what do you mean? You are fighting a war with them? No. You cannot feed your enemies. We tell you to stop all the food going to Igbo land, to Biafra land. What Biafra? You stop all the food, you barricade all the roads. They will be hungry. When they get hungry, they will drop their gun because they will die of starvation. Their children will die. Their wives will die. Before you know it, there will be, an implosion. They will be hungry, so they will crawl down and come for your mercy. Make sure you barricade all the food, all the supply, from the river Niger. You block everything from Bakassi Peninsula. You do a contract, a deal with Cameroon to make sure they block all the food supplies, all the roads leading from Cameroon to Nigeria. You barricade them in. They dot in a circle. That was where they came from. That's concept. To call a spade a spade. Awolowo came with that concept. To zero in, it means to barricade everywhere. You become a dot in a circle. A dot in a circle. It came from Awolowo. You make them a dot in a circle. You barricade everywhere. Once you block the food supply, I tell you, before 6 months, they will be hungry. And once they get hungry, they will drop their arms. They'll be begging for food. They will turn to scavengers. They'll be eating themselves. They'll be killing themselves. And before you know it, some people will come to plan with you to kill the leader so that there'll be food supply. And before you know it, he said all those things. I don't want to go there today, but I ask myself, why is it whenever the Biafrans, we are dealing with the enemy, the Yorubas always step in to distract us? But when you are dealing with the enemy by yourselves, all we do is give you guys the enabling environment. We walk away. We step aside for you guys to do what you got to do. Go and do your research. The meaning of also Abiola, it was the Biafrans running away when the Yorubas had their quackers, their fracas, their quanta, their beef with the North. It was coming towards us. We say, okay, we will not take side. Let us step aside. And we ran away. Most of us died. Most of us died in a problem that does not deal with us, that has nothing to do with us. I digress. Let's get back to this one. Let's get back to this. But it's very, very sad that every time I'm noticing this, even in my place of work, I told you guys that same story. I had a very good job. I was moving to a new place. Twice the pay, or almost twice the pay. And 3 people in that work, they are Yorubas. We claim we're best of friends, you know. When I come with my swagger, they go, hey, what's up, bro? What's up, bro? They are shining with, they see the star in me, and they use the brightness of the light from the star in me to also shine in the office. Because in that office, the Oyibo, they respect me now. When I come with swagger, they respect me. This guy is always fresh. His shoes, they look clean. His trousers look clean. His shirt, he dey change shirt. He doesn't wear one shirt twice. Who is this guy? We used to assume in Africa they are poor. We thought in Africa there is poverty, but this guy is different. The way he talks different. The way he carries himself, he carries himself different. His mannerism is different. He's fresh. When they are busy in the 3rd week of the month, if you notice these white people, them within the 3rd week, their money their pay don't finish. So they will come during their lunchtime. They will carry one old bread and put some vegetable inside, put their bacon, and they eat it as lunch. But me, I'll go and buy my McDonald's, my KFC, my Nando's. I buy those kind of very hot prepared food, drive down, buy it, bring it to the office canteen, and I'm eating, and my Yoruba friend goes, what's up? Hey, you're enjoying, they are coming to take their shine with me. Fine, I go open and man, guys, chop, almost chicken, they go take this, they go take the, they will eat with me. But that shine, they were robbing from my shine, because suddenly Oyibo, when they fear, say their money don't finish, because they are in the 3rd week, 1 week more for payday, so their money don't finish. Now they are being conservative with their food, because the 1st week they eat with you outside, 2nd week outside, the 3rd week their money is finishing. They don't know how to, but we the Biafrans, we sabi business now. We are the scientists when it comes to business. So money is never our problem. So for the first time, I manifested that in the workplace. While they are busy, they are drinking, small teas, but small water, and their bread and toast. Me, I'm coming there with KFC, very hot, expensive. I'll even buy extra. Make my Yoruba friends go enjoy with me. And for the first time, people were asking, this guy is different, man. I used to think in Africa, people are poor, but I suspect this guy came from a very rich home. They were saying this is not understanding that me, as a business mind, I understand the science, the principles of buying and selling. I can multitask myself. While you are doing your job, yes, you still have contacts. People want some things from China, from Canada. Man, be my guest. I'll be there. Even from your cell phone, you can transact businesses, make profit, abnormal profit. So when it comes to taking care of myself, having my food is not the problem. But for the first time, the Oyibo, they saw in us a peculiar people that look fresh, talk fresh, drive a very nice car, very clean, well-spoken, and intelligent. So don't say, he's a drug man. This guy is too intelligent to be a drug bad guy. No, he's not. There is something about him that is hiding. There is something about this man is hiding. So after all said and done, when I now had a promotion, those who were enjoying the brightness of my light, my 3 Yoruba, workmates then, in my farewell speech, when I talk, I thank this manager for doing this. I thank this for that. At the time when I had about 4 or 5 jobs, on my desk, I went to this other manager, for counseling, and he told me to stick with the one that I have, And I said, for now, this is goodbye. For now, this is goodbye. That was the last sentence in my farewell speech. It was emailed to all the whole People in the company, people were in tears. Until this day, people are still communicating with me. But my so-called besties, my so-called best Yoruba 3 friends, how come the 3 of them till this day, they've not spoken to me at all? They were angry. You didn't say goodbye to us. You didn't mention our name in the farewell speech. That's what one of them said. I said, what do you mean, bro? It's politics, man. You should know. I'm making these guys know that we're on a higher level the way we roll. And none of them till this day, for over 6 years now, they have never said hi. We're on WhatsApp, we're on Facebook, we're on Instagram. They've never said hi to me. There's 3 guys that every day they name my desk. See biscuit to they go open your biscuit for your desk. You buy food, then chop with you. Girls, they follow me talk. They go rush, come, hey. They go there with me. Take the glory, fine, shine with me. We are all one. I saw them as my brothers. But shocking. Past 6 years now, Oyibo from my other work, they are still communicating with me. Even the Asians from my other work still communicate with me. The Arabs still communicate with me. But my own kids and kings, as I believed. So, okay, at least we were from a particular country that Britain made one. My 3 Yoruba friends till this day, they have not spoken with me. I didn't block them, but I felt sad. The truth, when we say every day, everything I do, sometimes, one car don't break down, I go drive, pick them up, drop them off. You know now, so sometimes their car go break down. They don't want to spend the money to do it in the Western world. Because, the money too much, let me save some more. But you will now put the burden upon me to drop you off. Fine, I'll do it. After work, guy, jump in now. Boom, you enter my car, I drop you off. Next day, you are texting me, please now, bros, I beg, bros, on your way now, I'll wait for you for that junction, I'll wait for you for that area. I say, okay, guy, no wala. But please, be there by 7:30 or by 8. I'll come through. Yeah, thank you. Sometimes you get there, they are not yet there. I'm saying all these things to let you know, say the Biafrans, we are not the problem. We have been a helper. In most cases, we've been a helper to the Yorubas. We have shown real friendship. I told you guys during my NYC days in that zoo called Nigeria. Somebody that government was paying the same alawi for also, the same allowance. But this Yoruba boy will refuse to spend his own money. He will come to my house. Early momo, because then we're teaching in a school. Early momo, you come to my house, you go eat my breakfast. Then he will rush to his school. Lunchtime, before 2:30, he don't come again, stay with me. He go eat lunch. He go chill till evening, dinner. This was happening 5 days a week. For 1 year, I fed somebody who was having the same money with me, alawi. Why? Because I was happy to cook a better food. If not soup, I will spend money for that soup. It must be decent. Nobody say you cook soup, there is no meat or fish there. That's madness. Technically, this guy was living in my house, technically. Despite he has his own free house, so he was in a different school that he teaches in a different school. But he go rush. You know what I mean? Fine. People were telling me, bro, man, what the fuck is this now? It's getting out of... My other people that live close to me were telling me, guy, what's going on here now? You're overspending, because I said, guy, forget that, no matter. He said, no, now, we're on the same pay now. We're all on the same pay. He said, why is it that your, breakfast, lunch, the dinner, Monday to Friday, he's here eating your food? I said, guy, forget that thing. Now God, the blessed person, forget that thing. It doesn't matter. Then my girlfriend was not staying with me, though she had her own house, in that same place there. This guy goes, say, babe, they by my house. He go see, wait, they play video game, before you know, food don't come out. Then sometimes I may be a bit pissed off. I will now go to the girl house. You know, the girl go force me to stay in house. So I go stay in house. So before you know, 9 don't knock in for night. I know say hunger go catch him now. It's unfair. The guy will come text me, hey, please, are you not coming back here? I'm about to sleep. In fact, I will stay in your place. I will stay in your house today because going back home is a bit tiring. It's a bit dark now. I will stay in your place. I say, okay, I'm on my way. In fact, I'm a bit hungry now, but you know, I will probably just drink some gari. I said, no, don't drink some gari. There is rice there. Then go to the fridge. There is, you know, help yourself. There is stew and everything. Just, you know, help yourself. No, I don't want to do that. I would have preferred the gari, but you have forced me now. Okay, I'm gonna eat your rice and some stew, but I would have preferred to drink some gari. Yeah, you just, you know, not play now. They go, before you know I'm, nah, you know what I mean? But I did that with love because naturally that's who we are. We are givers. Biafra means come close, come near, come and enter, come and take, come abode. You are welcome. Come and stay. That's who we are by nature. That's who we are by nature. Lord have mercy, Lord have mercy, Lord have mercy. This is very, very sad though. It's very, very sad. But sometimes I wonder. Sometimes I ponder. Sometimes I think out loud. Right now, even though I'm doing this video, they reminisce, they think out loud, say, we have been nice to the Yorubas. We have been good to them. But every time, when we are about to liberate ourselves from the cabal, they step in with their media, they step in with their politics. Before you know it, they come with the distractions. The Igbo must go, the Igbo. Igbo must go. And all this confusion, you want to distract us. That's the problem. And I ask myself, why? Could it be because you are scared? Say, if the Igbos go, we are in trouble. It means that only us and Fulani go there for Nigeria. It will be a problem. Maybe that's the reason. I'm suspecting now. You don't want to face the enemy by yourself, but we that want to leave, you are saying, no, don't go because I will be then you are being selfish. Then technically you are being selfish. If that's the case, that you are scared to face the enemy alone, and we want to leave, you say, no, don't go. I will join the Fulani to bring the Igbos back, to ask them to stay, because technically, if they leave, it means it is we and the Fulani in Nigeria, the Fulani, they've taken over or your state. They are coming for Kwara. Ilore is gone. They will take over our states. So perhaps we must allow the Igbos to remain in Nigeria. Perhaps. That might be the reason why you act this way. But let's continue.
And as you know, it's a banned organization.
Listen.
Prime Minister, he's the Prime Minister of IPOB. And as you know, it's a banned organization.
As you know, it's a banned organization. You see the way he has linked Simon Ekpa with IPOB. He's doing the job of the lawyers to link Simon Ekpa with IPOB. As you know, IPOB is a banned organization. This is coming from the Yoruba media. They are helping the Fulani to do their job. They are making the job easier for the cabal. This is my anger. None of us spoke this way to a man we love so much, Chief Dr. Sunday Adeyemo, aka Sunday Igboho. Even when I call his name, I call the full title, Chief Dr. Sunday Adeyemo, aka Sunday Igboho, to show you, say, we have no envy or lust for even those of you that are doing well from the Yoruba side. We are happy. I love Sunday Igboho so much. I love his man, his spokesman, Koiki Media, the last man standing, the white lion, the last man standing, the man who stood thick and thin throughout the whole time, throughout the ordeal of Chief Sunday Igboho. Koiki was there. I respect him, but I'm somebody who call a spade a spade. I don't cower. I'm not a coward that will lie when I say facts. So yes, we love Chief Sunday Igboho, but that doesn't mean when the media is acting this way, I will not pretend and not call them out. That's who we are. We are like water. We move according to the way things should be. What you see is what you get. We don't play these games that you guys are playing. We don't do that. We keep things real. Now he's saying IPOB, a banned organization. Simon Ekpa'S said he's the prime minister of IPOB. Do you not see why I was angry with him, likening Simon Ekpa'S to be the prime minister of IPOB? Because I knew where he was going. Let's continue. One more time and listen.
State, or Haku in particular.
Listen.
And he went over to Finland as maybe part of IPOB, certainly. But now he's even styled himself the prime minister. He's styled himself the prime minister of IPOB. And as you know, it's a banned organization.
Yes, he fashioned himself the prime minister of Biafra. You know. And,
okay, this man tried a bit to even correct that man, the prime minister of Biafra. Yes, USB, University of Biafra. So to an extent, this man even tried to correct that man. But let's continue. Let's continue.
Of course, if you remember very well, there were a group of people that actually came together in Europe and tried to even create a Congress of Biafra where some ministers and were appointed, you know, a big elaborate ceremony. But at that time, he has already been arrested, so he couldn't attend.
God bless this man. We did it in Finland, though, Latte, Finland. 2 weeks after Simon Ekpa'S was what? Held in Finland. Because we know the rule of law in the Western world is different from that of Nigeria. Nigeria has told Finland, trust me, if you hold Simon Ekpa'S 2 weeks before the convention, everybody will run away. They will desert him. They will be scared because in Nigeria, the people are scared of the police. They are scared of the government. They know the government can be, so please, if you can hold Simon Ekpa'S for questioning 2 weeks before the convention, I promise you, nobody will come to Finland for the convention. And Finland say, okay, if you say so, but we cannot stop them from attending because they have the freedom of association. We cannot stop them. But let us play according to your flow. Finland was just dancing to the tune of Nigeria. So they held Simon Ekpa'S 2 weeks before the convention. And Nigerian government was shocked how everybody trooped into Finland. Even me, myself and I was there. We had a convention, not a meeting as he called it. Not a ceremony. A convention. In that convention, Biafra was redeclared on the very first day, 29th of November, 2024. In Finland. So, if they are saying Simon Ekpa'S though Finland didn't call him a terrorist, though, but Nigeria want to paint that picture. They said online activities that may be linked to terrorism. Online activities. Online activities. But in Nigeria, they said, no, Simon Ekpa'S was convicted as a terrorist. No. The main one that stuck on Simon Ekpa'S was their so-called taxation stuff that they said, he didn't declare his, taxes. 2021, 2022, 2023. That's the one that stuck on him. Those online activities, that's nonsense, baloney. But Nigeria want to run with that one because Finland had to, give something back to Nigeria because Nigeria gave them a great contract, oil and gas. But they know this, but it's now in the media, Simon Ekpa'S was guilty of terrorism. Who would be a terrorist that you give 6 years in jail? Technically 3 years in jail. Where is that done? How can a terrorist be charged for 3 years? You guys, man, I don't know. Nigerians. Education. Education is key. Show me anywhere where a terrorist will be jailed for 6 years. Show me one case. God. Even your boy, the Is it the shoe kidney bomber that the Fulani boy? What's his name again? That was in the plane and he put bombs in his body. He's still languishing in jail. Oh. I was a kid when I heard that story. Mutalab or something. That the Fulani boy. He's still in the US jail for how many years? Nigerians, man, you guys should do better. Do better. Educate yourselves. Don't allow the media to force you. Don't allow your government to force the media to tie the hands of your media. You guys aren't free, but you pretend to be free. Free press? You guys aren't free. Show me one person who was guilty of terrorism and was given 6 years in jail. 6 years. But when it comes to taxation, I can show you people. Do you not get it? But let's continue. Listen.
Particular ceremony. They did all that. They were trying to raise money all across the world. And of course, with this conviction, of course, we've not been hearing about them again after that ceremony.
Lie. Hear what he said. Hear it again.
They did all that. They were trying to raise money all across the world. And of course, with this conviction, of course, we've not been hearing about them again after that ceremony.
Boom. We were trying to raise money. Of course, they've not been hearing from us again after this ceremony. He's calling what we did in Nigeria-Finland a ceremony. You see, they downplay things we've done. Of course, we've not been hearing from them after the ceremony. Okay, go and check my videos now. I've been active. Everybody that were there, all the media people, we've been active. Because to hear from somebody, it means you want to hear from the media. You want to hear from the government. The government has been active. USB. University of Biafra, run by the Deputy Prime Minister, Her Excellency, Dr. Ngozi Orabuizi. Oga, we have not skipped a single day. As we speak, we now have 40 states in Biafra land. So it's probably you that is not up to date. You need to catch up, okay? Call a spade a spade. We've been active. We've been super active throughout. You have to catch up. Now you need to catch up, okay? Forget that story. That's a lie from the pit of hell. Of course, they've not been active. Hey, nah, Nigerian media, you guys are so funny. I swear to God. You guys are so funny. Let's continue.
So, now that he's been arrested, not only for terrorism charges, there are other charges too. The guy has been he has been doing things against the Finnish government. Like, you know, he's a lawyer too. He's a lawyer, but before you practice, just like in Nigeria, you have to practice after you go to law school, the Nigerian law school, and you're a member of the Nigerian Bar Association. They have something like that too, which he has contravened the Lawyers Act.
All I did for me, oh God. You see, this is the problem. This is the problem. You said he was practicing as a lawyer in Finland. That's not true. Take your time and do your research. Even the company name, Ekpa'S and Co. Now, you know the nature of we the Biafrans. We love to do business. When we see something is lucrative, we go in there and do business. If I'm not a medical doctor, nothing stops me from opening a hospital and have a consortium or a coming together, some partners who are real doctors that are the ones carrying out the hospital day-to-day activities. But as a businessman, as a Biafra man, that business is in my DNA. I know that let me use Simon, but I know in this case, he knows immigration is something vital. People want to travel to Europe, some of them don't have the documentation. Some might come to Europe and they want to marry somebody, but they don't have the right documentation. So he saw that vacuum. There was a void in that area. And his wife is a lawyer. Or his ex-wife. So when he saw what the wife was doing, but she was doing it in a very simple way, you know, Because in those countries, they don't worship money. They are happy to go somewhere, one charity organization, give their services twice a week, come back home, and they are happy. But the Biafran man, with the science of business in his mind, they say, my wife, you're a lawyer, but we are not maximizing or exploiting this area of law when it comes to family law and all those things, immigration law. So perhaps, why don't I invest and create a company instead of you going down twice a week doing what you are doing there? You'll be working here, and your colleagues, you can also invite them to work here, and you won't get paid more because, you being my wife, you control it. And me being Simon Ekpa, I have the influence. People will come to me about their visa issues, immigration issues, then I'll refer them to you. Like an agency, a middleman. Is normal. It's normal. Yes, he does have a BSc or an MSc in law, but he's not practicing law as you guys think. So what Finland did was because they don't understand acculturation process. In Biafra land, we are known for opening business. Everybody get business. If na spare part, that doesn't mean you should be an engineer to have a spare part. You must not study mechanical engineering to be selling spare parts. Do you not get it? So he took that same formula to Finland and saw the opportunities there. So okay, to maximize these things, I will have clients. Clients are coming to me in my meetings, in my Biafra meetings. I see lots of Biafrans. I see Africans who are stranded in Europe, in Finland. They need our services. Why don't I create this avenue? Expand your horizon, maximize the profit at a point where marginal cost is equals to marginal revenue, and the marginal cost curve is rising. You see, when it comes to me, I sabi everything to maximize profits. When you draw the graph, it must be at that point where the marginal cost, the extra cost, is equals to marginal revenue, the extra revenue, and the marginal cost curve is rising. It's about to rise. That point is the bliss point. That's where you maximize your profit. So if the wife of Simon Ekpa is going to one, charity organization once in a while, or working in someone else's place, doing flexi hours, doing twice a week, 3 times a week, she is not maximizing the profit. She had her own plan to have her own thing, but she couldn't do it because she didn't have the capital, she didn't have the finance, she didn't have the wherewithal to carry out those things. Simon Ekpa saw the void. As a Biafran man that loved business, business is in our DNA. He chose to open his own company under a legal firm run by his wife. What's the crime there? So Finland said no, but because one Biafran man came and lied in the name of Simon Ekpa. Simon Ekpa said he will do my visa and all those things. He claimed he's a lawyer. As a salesman, what do? You speak to win over those clients, the clientels, the supreme clientele. That's what they call it. You speak very well in the language they understand. The Biafran man who spoke to him, he had the IQ of a typical Nigerian person who everybody he sees is a lawyer. So they used it as an opportunity to put something on Simon Ekpa, to stick something, because the case Nigeria brought on Simon Ekpa has no water. Think up now. Nigeria bring case to Finland. So I beg you, Simon Ekpa now, making a look at more. But Finland say the case where we now bring on this man, in no water. He has the right to speak, freedom of speech. He has the right to assemble people, to to do all those things. Association. He has the right to do it. We cannot stop him from speaking the way he's speaking. He has the right to say, Biafrans, defend yourself. The same way your own man, the one I call them the first suicide bomber in that so-called Nigeria, T.Y. Danjuma, the way he was saying, they collude, the military and Boko Haram, they collude, the government officials and Boko Haram and the military, they collude. Nigerians, defend yourself, they have colluded, they collude. Those were the words of T.Y. Danjuma, saying Nigerians should defend themselves because the military and the Fulani cabal and the Boko Haram, they have colluded. They collude, they collude, they collude. Defend yourselves. But last time I checked, nobody is holding that one now. He's a free man. T.Y. Danjuma, they work everywhere. He's a free man. So Simon Ekpa has the same right to speak from the Western world in Finland. Even me, I have the right to speak the way I speak in the Western world. I know if I was in Nigeria, there will be a bullet in my head. You will waste all my knowledge. You will waste all my intellect. You will waste all the years I've studied in the Western world. You will put a bullet in my head. I know that. I'm a dead man if I'm in that so-called Nigeria. Hence, I can't speak the way I'm speaking now. Because you guys don't respect the rule of law. What is known as the fundamental human right. You guys don't have it. I know you guys are so quick. You can't wait to catch us and put a bullet in our head. You can't wait to hold Simon Ekpa and put a bullet in his head. I know that. That's why they call you guys a backward country, an underdeveloping country, a shithole, a zoo. Because the way you think, you are not mature enough to have that conversation. The people are speaking about freedom, about liberation, becoming independent, and you felt the best way to respond is to send your military to go and fight them. That shows how mentally inept you guys are and your leaders are. Somebody that didn't even get a GCE. Buhari was made your president. A man without a GCE. Oh my God. This is a zoo. A stark illiterate, a functioning illiterate, an imbecile was made your president. That's how low you guys are. That's how low and inept you guys are. Lord have mercy. And you expect us that have lived in the Western world, that have lived, assimilate the culture of the white man. Technically, we might look black, but our mind is white. Technically, we have been, we have assimilated the culture of the Western world. As the saying goes, when you are in Rome, you behave like the Romans. Over time, we the Biafrans live in diaspora. That's why we are acting the way we are acting now. Because it is expected of us. Oyibo, if they were in a situation like us, this is what they will be doing. But you guys don't understand. You are still looking at us as, you Nigerians living in diaspora. God have mercy. Oh, forget story, yo. Forget story, okay? That those days don't pass. Our mind don't change. Our way of life has changed. Our psychology, the way we perceive the world, the way we interact within the world, the way we see things, they have changed. Over time, these things they are bound to happen. Revolution, things are different. The same white men that went from Britain to conquer America. When those that stayed in America for a while, they were the ones that now fought a war with Britain. The home office in Britain is the same thing. Over time, your perspective will change. We have tasted the ways of the white man, their standard. When they do things, they follow policies and guidelines. Over time, when you keep on doing that, then it now goes into autopilot. It becomes your way of life. That when someone is telling you, say, oh, there is bribery, there is tribalism, there is nepotism, you will fight against such. That's why we do what we do today, because the virus of Nigeria has been weaned off our system. That virus called Nigeria, we don't come out of our system. So the way we think now is different. We now see the reason to have a nation because Nigeria is not working. I can't be in a company where the CEO is a riffraff, a non-entity, a drug man, a tribalized man. It's not done. And that's what you have in Nigeria. Things ain't working. Tribalism means you put your cousin, your auntie, your uncle, your in-law in a position. Or you say, okay, only your tribe will get a job. There's a job appointment. Only your tribe gets a job. Why not go for the best, the very best to get that job? So that you add value to that sector, to that department. But you guys don't think that way. You come with tribalism where a quack, an average person, gets a position because he's from your tribe. And not only that, those that ruled in government for so long. Now they are becoming so confident, they are becoming so cocky that they now want to, Islamize the country, to make sure all the resources that they've been stealing all these years, they want to keep it to themselves, and now they want to Islamize the country to make everything their own, to even conquer and colonize the people within that environment. Islamification, Islamization. Islamification, Islamization. Two different words. But I told you, the short-term goals and the milestones towards Islamization is known as Islamification. 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 Those milestones, what is happening now in Plateau, in Benue, all those things you are seeing, those are acts of Islamification. The overall goal, the agenda is what? To Islamize Nigeria. But you start from a process. Even in the north, in southern Kaduna, what you are seeing there is Islamification. I don't want to go deeper. Let me calm down. I don't want to start, breaking big words for you guys. I want to reach the grassroots with this one. I want to reach our grassroots people with this one, with this video. But a lot is happening in that so-called Nigeria. A lot is happening. And we in diaspora, our mind don't change. Now we believe in the standards as our, as our compatriots, our peers in the Western world. The way they conduct things, that's the way we want to conduct ourselves as well. We want to maintain that standard. That's why we're saying we don't believe in Nigeria. We don't want to be Islamized in Nigeria. Nigeria is not for us. Hence, we redeclared our country on the 29th of November 2024. You guys should make that enter your head. Finland did not jail Simon Ekpa as a terrorist. You're a liar. No terrorist will get 6 years in jail. Quote me anywhere. Mutala, that small boy, we put drugs for pant, we put bomb for pant. The Fulani boy that was going to USA, he put the bomb for him pants. He's still in jail for how many years now? That's a terror act. A terrorist. A terror, that's what they call it. Bin Laden, they went to his house. You saw those guys who went to his house to buy him. That's what you get. Life in jail, or they buy you. Not 6 years, which is just 3 years, and you have spent 9 months already. So you're just doing, 2 years and 2 months technically. In a place where you can chill, relax, go for your gym, you drink your milk, your balanced diet. There is TV everywhere to watch sports and football, whatever. There is the internet, you can browse the internet, you can have a good time, even though you can even conduct your business from Finland. you guys, oh my God. Those on earth are praying to go to heaven. Those in heaven, do they pray? My dad asked me that question some years ago. And I didn't understand it. I didn't know my dad don't mature past that stage of saying, no, I'm praying, God, please take me to heaven. Because then I'll be leading the prayer and I'll be saying, breaking it down. Oh God, please, in Jesus' name. Oh Lord, please, my whole family, from my auntie to my uncle, everybody, we should be in heaven, the same place, the same time, so that we enjoy life together. I would just, Then one day my dad just told me, young man, come here. That prayer point you made. Those on earth are praying to go to heaven every day. But those in heaven, do they pray? What would they pray for? Food, daily bread, health, welfare, security, job security, marriage, children, business. Because those are your talking points in your church. Pastor, come and say prosperity. Talking point in your church. My dad got me with that one. Then my brain was still, I was still very young. And he asked me that. Those on earth are praying to go to heaven. But those in heaven, do they pray? What do you say, young man? I was like, Daddy, we have to... I couldn't answer that. I was trying, but I didn't know what to say. And I pondered for a long time. Say, wow. It means there are levels to this thing. in that so-called Nigeria. You still pray to God, and your talking point is, give us today our daily bread. Papa, I thank you. I don't chop for money. God, I beg for next weekend. I make some money to feed the children. Oh Lord, in Jesus' name, school fees is a problem. My husband's business is doing bad. Oh Lord, in the name of Jesus, allow customers to come from the left to the right, from up north, down south. Customers will come. Allow the contract to get it. He has gone to Abuja for a contract. We cover the contract with the blood of Jesus. Come on. Hey! The deaf, the dumb, and blind. The deaf, the dumb, and the blind. Those are your talking points. You go to church and you pray for that. You pay your tithe for such talking points. And I ask myself, 3 blind men were told to describe an elephant. 3 blind men were asked to describe an elephant. One touched the stomach area of the elephant. He said, the elephant is a wall. It's in flat too. It be like wall. One by mistake touched the tail of the elephant. He said, okay. The elephant is like a pole. A pole, a metal rod went round. Elephant is a pole. One can't move. Can't touch the, touch the leg. He said, elephant is a pillar. Very naive. You are praying based on your own circumstance. Till this day, I now understood what my dad meant when he said, those on earth are praying to go to heaven, but those in heaven, do they pray? I get it now. It depends on your level of maturity. You guys in Nigeria, you are still deaf, dumb, and blind. You are vulnerable. And you need sometimes an advocate to speak for you. A minor cannot, represent themselves in court. A minor cannot speak on their own behalf. They need an advocate to speak for them, to be an, intervener for them, to be the one to speak on their behalf. That's why we, the Biafrans in diaspora, we are doing what we are doing. For those Biafrans in the local attacking Simon Ekpa, you are thanking Nigeria and thanking Finland for convicting Simon Ekpa. You guys, you are deaf, dumb, and blind. It will take you guys time to understand what you have done to yourselves. It will take you guys time to understand what you have done to yourselves. Even in your Bible, Jesus was sold out by his own because they had the option to free Jesus or Barnabas. And the people, they chose Barnabas over Jesus. Some say Barnabas, some say Barabbas. Tomatoes. They chose Barnabas, a criminal, a drug man, a cabal, a terrorist, as you have in that zoo. They chose Barnabas over their Redeemer, Jesus. You see, these things, they repeat themselves. It's like a merry-go-round, a deja vu. It repeats itself and you're wondering what's going on here. Most of you go to church and you say, oh, Lord, Father, have mercy. Those that sold that Jesus, it not be well for them. Shame on them. Lord, punish them for killing Jesus. Today, now they say, okay, Simon Ekpa, spend 6 years in Finland, then bring it back to Nigeria. Firing squad, we will kill him for prison. He go die for prison. People are saying it to you today. You are crucifying your own. It's the same thing. Those back then, they didn't see the value of Jesus. But today, the whole world is praying to what? The Son of God, as you all call him. You are calling on the name of Jesus to heal the sick. To raise someone from the dead. You say, in the name of Jesus, rise. Your pastor do all this nonsense. You see, so sometimes when you are not on that level, you don't know what we have seen. The way we speak this way, I didn't choose to speak this way. It is designed in me at my level of maturity now. I must speak this way. With my level of exposition, awareness, I am aware now. I am no longer deaf, dumb, and blind. I am aware. Once you are aware now, you must speak the truth. I'm not like those that you have lived in London, you have lived in New York, you have lived in California, you have lived in Australia. Some of the Yorubas, you see yourself buying houses in California, in London, in New York, in Australia. You are buying houses, living with people around there, but in your mind, in your USA, you are still saying, Igbos, Lagos, Igbos, in Lagos, go away. But you're in a foreign country. Your neighbors are either white, Chinese, Hispanics, Arabs are your neighbors, so in a foreign country where you bought a house and you are showing off on Facebook, on Instagram, you are showing the house, you are happy. Oh my God, see the house, see the gated environment we are living. Oh my God, you are happy. But from your Facebook, you see a news about the Igbos. You say, oh, the Igbos, they want to take over Lagos. Igbos must go. Igbos must go. I want Igbo taking over Lagos. It means you are not aware. You are not mature enough to know what's going on. Because you're in the country enjoying that thing in a foreign land. Probably you have a permanent residence in that country or a citizen in that country. But those who were born in Lagos, you are telling them, say, oh, the Igbo, they have come to steal over Lagos, push them away, buy them. Oh my God, have mercy. It's because you are not yet aware. You are still deaf, dumb, and blind, or you know the truth, but you are concealing the truth. You are the concealer of the truth. But people like us, we call it spade a spade, we don't hide things. We do not hide things. Let's continue. Listen.
They have something like that too, which he has contravened the Lawyers Act in Finland.
Well, just to tell our viewers that we might be, operating on our alternative channel, and just for you to know, but viewers can continue to watch this program. Sorry. Actually, we'll fade down entirely the audio coming from that other channel, so that
continue again for me, I beg.
It's going to be like a picnic. He needs to
now listen.
He also, of course, entirely different circumstances, had reason to be incarcerated, in Nigeria here politically. So he says he knows what it's like, and he also, from his idea of, from a worldview, it's going to be like a picnic. He needs to be here and to face our own justice system. And then, if he is indeed convicted, then they will know that he is actually serving a sentence. But there are those who believe that he's not serving a sentence yet, as he's in the finished jail over there. They might actually
hold on there. Those are the words of the one they call Shehu Sani. Senator Shehu Sani, the one with the afro head with the bald spot in the front. Or guys, shave that head down, because your bald don't come. You're bald in your forehead. So shave that afro down. Shehu is saying Simon Ekpa is having a picnic in Finland. A jamboree. That's not jail. They should bring him to Nigeria to come and join you in your kirikiri, your Alagbon prison. God have mercy. Hey, this well, you see, the Fulani knows what's in there. Fulani, they know what's in there. So he's saying Nigeria should find a way to bring him to Nigeria. Bring Simon Ekpa, no, tell Finland, let him come and face the music in Nigeria. Because the prison in Nigeria is bad. The food in Nigeria is bad. You piss and shit in the same environment where you kneel down, not even sleep. You kneel down throughout the whole night. A Fulani man is speaking this way. Senator Shehu Sani, a man who Simon Ekpa give water for so many occasions on Twitter. But look at what he's saying now. Bring Simon Ekpa from Finland down here. Bring and come. Make we flog him koboko. Make we buy him. He's having a good time, a picnic in Finland. He might be right, because like I told you, In the Western world, when you are in jail or whatever, it's a different ball game. Especially in the Scandinavian countries. You have your gym. You'll be on diet. You will tell them the kind of food you are eating. If it's organic food, they buy you organic food. You go to your gym, you have your internet, you have television. Most of you in Nigeria know the chop 3 square meals. You eat once a day. You eat once a day. If you are lucky. If you are hungry, you just pour dust into your stomach. Gari. You drink gari, you soak them for 2 hours. It rise, the starch rise up. Because starch and water, you know, ay, what a shame. And you are just filling up your stomach. You are tricking your stomach to assume you are full. But where is the balanced diet? None. Zero. That's why now people die. Age 40, it's like 90 years old in Nigeria now. If you're from the average class and you reach 40 years, thank God. Because there's no balanced diet. Most of you just eat to fill up your stomach. My God have mercy. May God have mercy on you guys. Let's continue. Hear what Shehu is saying.
Color television.
Listen.
Those who believe that he's not serving a sentence yet, as he's in the finished jail over there, they might actually have color television. They might actually have color television there and that kind of a thing.
Oh, God, we have it. No, be laugh. We get them there. Why? Level of civility. You don't dehumanize somebody for doing something. They are there, as the policy says, the law says, you have to be sentenced. That doesn't mean you will take away their right. So I'm telling you, in the Western world, things are different. Our eye don't open and say, eh? So life is like this. Hey, God. Now is it work now? So this is what I have to go through. Now biscuit now. Because in that zoo, you have to go through hell. In fact, people say, we don't believe in heaven because we are living in hell. In Nigeria, people are saying, we don't believe in heaven because we are living in hell. I believe the lifestyle in Nigeria is worse than what you would get in hellfire. If there's a hellfire. Because if even God will not create an environment that harsh. I'm telling you the truth. Nigeria is worse than hellfire. People are going through hell. People in government, they must steal. Their wife are telling them, do what your mates are doing, steal as much as possible. Steal as much as possible. So everything is low. Standard is low. Even your police, they don't pay them well. They are criminals on the highway, on the road, checkpoints everywhere. Nigeria is hell. I've tasted both worlds. And to tell you the truth, Nigeria is hell. If there's anything you would take from me to today, take this from me, that living in Nigeria is hell. If there's anything, you guys that believe in Nigeria, Rufai, you said in your own case, I'm angry with you because you know the truth. Rufai, you know the truth. That's why when they send it to USA, to Saudi Arabia, you don't update your timeline to show Nigerians that call themselves Nigerians that you have access to go to USA, to the UK, to Canada, to Saudi Arabia. The other day, I saw you in Saudi Arabia in a convention. I saw Rufai in Saudi Arabia in a convention. I laughed. I said, wow. No wonder he's saying, I love Nigeria. God bless Nigeria. Nigeria will be great. Because Nigeria has been kind to Rufai Hussaini. The media houses, they are the ones that can make it well because every day in Nigeria, now breaking news. So if you're in the media, this is the best time to make your money. Because in Nigeria, every day is breaking news. Terrorism catch 22, and this one by this governor was shut down. This NYSC girl, the Ibom Air girl, but terrorist K20, Simon Ekpa'S, Nnamdi Kanu. You know, breaking news. They are happy. So they don't have to work hard anymore. You wake up in the morning, as you are making your tea, as you are making your pap to drink, there's a breaking news. You go into the office, into your studio, and you freestyle the breaking news, as this man is doing here now, without doing research. But back in the days, in the Western world, you do a research. You go into what they call the frontline investigative journalism. You are the front line to get the primary source. Before you look at the secondary source, you are looking for the primary source of the news. You have what they call the human intelligence, those in the field giving you the first-hand knowledge, your right-hand men, those that will tell you the truth of what's really happening. Eyewitnesses, but in most cases, you have your own contacts that will tell you, say, oh, forget that, the governor did this, so now governor na Ndwam. Okwama, now military men, a business went bad. They went for their share. They were being greedy. They wanted some more money. And before you know it, they want to buy somebody. When they say, now they block the money, when they make for Okwama, come on, you guys know the truth. And when they went there, they buy some guys, but that man and them boys, they came and they buy the military man while they were in their boat, leaving the creek. They were ambushed. And they buy them for the boat. That was why some of them, their body, they float for the water. And to scare them from coming back, they now make sure, say, they open their cloth, they cut their tongue, they come out their eye, they cut off their, to make the rest not come back there, to scare them away. But not knowing that the Nigerian military would do the unthinkable. The Nigerian military, they came back and they leveled the whole ground, the whole community in Okwama. Now, look, that was an oil deal that went bad. An oil backhand deal. How they make their money, but the person when they pay say, this men and them boys, then they slow the money. I'm sorry, they collect the place where we just find though. Military man now went there to go stop those guys then. Then buy some, but on their way back, those boys now, they sabi the creek very, very well now. Those boys, them sabi the oil creek very, very well. They wait for those men now. When they come with their speedboats, they do what, that's what they buy them back. A deal that went bad. A backhand deal that went bad. Okwama. When I got it, I said, okay. It makes sense now. But they didn't know that Nigeria will come back. That the Tinubu government will come pretend like say, oh, I love the military. Go there now and shut down the whole of Okwama. Wipe it off. Kill everything on sight. Kill everything on sight. Which was what they did. Fellow Biafrans, sometimes these things they pain me, but we're just talking. Today, now just talk. Make we talk. Continue.
Read on social media. So I don't know what the idea. What do you think about the idea that he's been convicted now, which is fine,
Yes.
but that he needs to come back and also face the justice here? Would that not be something of a double jeopardy? Would it not be?
It's not. Yori is not a double jeopardy. There are, in repatriation or extradition of prisoners from foreign countries. Sometimes the agreement would be one where he will be brought, he will serve the finished jail term, and then maybe towards the last 1 or 2 years, he will now be extradited to Nigeria to finish the jail term. They cannot jail him twice, except the Nigerian government have other, charges against him. They have other criminal charges against him, which maybe the Attorney General will bring forward.
Hey, this is that one now. We're not shame the shame. We're not shame the shame. Hi, Nigerians. God. If only you guys can just spend 1 week, all of them for Western world, just for one week, just 1 week. Come in and see how life is. See how things are done in a civilized way. It will change your mindset. If you think Finland of all countries go carry Simon Ekpa give una, then you guys don't understand what is happening in the Western world. The only time they send people back is maybe illegal immigration. Someone feels their immigration status, they don't have the right in that country. Like in England, I believe they do such sometime. In USA, we are doing it now. In America here, we're doing it now. ICE is different. But when someone is a citizen, not only that, this person was married, this person has a child involved, a baby involved, and you would take that person to Nigeria to go suffer for your kiri. Alagmo. Guys, look at that. Nigerians. Man. And you claim to be the best in Africa, the giant of Africa. But see the way your so-called specialists, they speak. A double jeopardy. You say no. He might spend maybe one month to go. They will now bring him and send him to Nigeria to go and complete 1 month in jail. Nigeria will now say no. We have some more charges against Simon Ekpa. They will now come up with the charges against Simon Ekpa. God, hey, a zoo will remain a zoo, my people. A zoo will remain a zoo. Let's continue.
I think that's left for the lawyers. The thing is that to extradite him to Nigeria, it might be very, very difficult. Now, 3 people are supposed to take that decision. The Finnish government, the Nigerian government, and the prisoner himself. You know, because if he comes or his lawyer says that if he comes down to Nigeria, he will be tortured or he will not have a fair hearing, I think they take those kind of things seriously. And basically, you know, our prison correctional center situations. So he would prefer to even remain there, just like you said, it's a vacation. Yes, of course, they don't dehumanize people over there in prison. Yes, he can watch TV, can eat 3 times a day, but I don't think you want to leave that and come to the situation that he might encounter in Nigeria.
Especially if he has a choice in the matter. Especially if anybody else, if he has.
He has a choice because according to Finnish law, the 3 people, that is the Finnish government, the Nigerian government, and himself, have to agree, you know, because he, as a citizen of Finland, you know, because
and a politician and an elected politician as well in Finland.
And they have a law. They have a law in Finland that they cannot extradite to, you know, countries outside the EU, the European Union.
I see.
So
you get sense
all
more.
These are complications that
this man gets sense more.
If Nigeria is attempting to bring him down here. But, well, the Nigerian government and Finnish government are cooperating very seriously. So maybe that cooperation might extend, you know, especially when it comes to terrorism, just to show to the world that, you know, you cannot do terrorism and get away with it.
Hold on there for me. Terror. You see? That's the problem. These guys don't know what's really going on. Do you think Simon Ekpa was tried for terrorism? That's the problem. Simon Ekpa didn't go on trial for terrorism, for crying out loud. This is the problem. They levied different charges on Simon Ekpa. The one that stuck on him was the taxation. I will not go on that one. Go and watch my video yesterday where I broke that one down. But to make Nigeria feel good, because yes, there is now a new partnership. Nigeria gave Finland an offer they could not reject through the oil and gas in Lekki. But the so-called, just to make them feel, they say online activities that may be leading to what? terror activities or whatever. Online activities that may be linked, may is conditional. If I say, I will give you your money, that one not a fact, say I'll give you. If I say, I may give you your money, for the next 100 years, you may not get it from me. You see, may. That may be linked to terrorism activity, because Nigeria was begging Finland, please, just put that terrorism. They say, there is no way we can get this man on terrorism, because what he's saying, he's just speaking. He has a right to speak the way he's speaking. But we'll do our own due diligence. There is something that we may try just to hold him on. He made some money on YouTube, on the internet, from 2021 to 2023. Okay, we can bring that on him, And also, we heard, he's got this legal activities that is going on. He had a company, as a lawyer or something, or people. So we might bring those two. That's why Finland had to add something. If Nigeria came with a case, they will only come with what? Terrorism. It's a terrorist, people are buying it. No, Finland said that one no hold water. The only way, because now we have a deal with you guys, a partnership, this oil and gas, we might make 2 billion out of it in dollars. So we cannot go on that level of terrorism, because Simon Ekpa, he knows the law. He is a politician here. He knows the law. Speaking is not a problem. When Trump called you a shithole country, he didn't break no law. Even when David Cameron, who was once the prime minister and also the foreign affairs minister for Britain or whatever, his name now is Sir David Cameron or Lord David Cameron. When he said Nigeria is fantastically corrupt, that doesn't mean he broke any law. He's just speaking. So we cannot hold Simon Ekpa on that. It will fall flat in the court case. But there is something we are still digging on him. We discovered he made some money on YouTube, on the internet, from 2021 to 2023. And perhaps that was not really cleared. So we may have to come with a charge on that. That's why Nigeria, they claim, say, they took Simon Ekpa to court. But Finland said, they say, we took Simon Ekpa to court. So now Finland just helped them. Nothing like terrorism charges on Simon Ekpa. It will not stick. He is a freedom fighter. He's speaking that his people should defend themselves. He's not a terrorist. But Nigeria will sell that picture. That's news to the gullible ones. And perhaps to scare people like us. So they, Simon Ekpa terrorist, make I run away. They will catch me. They'll make me terrorist. And they will send me back to Nigeria. This is the thinking of these guys. My people are living here. It's very, very funny. It was fun, having a sit down with you guys, just chatting, thinking, wondering, pondering, and thinking out loud. I love it. Sometimes I want to sit down and just pour out knowledge, information. And I hope these two men, they have learned from this. My people, no more talk. For those that have ears, let them hear. For those that have ears, let them hear. May God bless you, and may God bless Biafra. Very soon, Simon Ekpa will be here with us. Ignore them. Simon has no case to answer. We know what they go on. We know what we ain't stupid. Finland, they're just doing some gymnastics to please Nigeria, because Nigeria was asking for terrorism even till this day. Even Nnamdi that they held in Nigeria, they cannot hold him down on terrorism. It's not done. It's not done. But the media will call terrorism activities. They said terrorism trial. FG may seek Simon Ekpa reparation after Finland 6 years jail term. Terrorism trial. That's what they tag what Simon Ekpa went through. Terrorism trial. But you saw people, Biafrans went to the court to hug Simon Ekpa. Those who were in Finland with him, they were in court to hug Simon Ekpa. So if he was a terrorist, if he was Osama bin Laden, and the members that flew that plane, they came to a US court to hug bin Laden, then America, they will thank God and they will catch everybody and lock them up as well. But no, people came to the court there. Biafrans came to court. Not only that, in a convention, we went to the convention. We were there in Finland for 5 days. And nothing happened. Why? Because what we are doing is not terrorism related. They are only doing what they are doing now because they've been compromised to please Nigeria. They have to say something. That's why I said Tinubu is a dangerous man. Jagaban can do the unthinkable. Jagaban can do the unthinkable. Something the Fulani could not even do. Jagaban did the unthinkable. When he got Bianca Onowu to join the cabinet, I knew where he was going. And today, the wife of Ojukwu, the third wife of Ojukwu, has helped Nigeria to slow down Simon Ekpa. Not to, they just slowed him down. I rest my case. For those that have ears, let them hear. But I will say, please, going forward, the only wife of Ojukwu that we Biafrans must respect and honor should be Njideka Ojukwu, the first wife. She was there through thick and thin during the Biafran War. Njideka Ojukwu, please, going forward, because most of us, we have been cajoled to assume Bianca is the first wife. No. The real wife of Ojukwu is Njideka. Njideka. Do your research. All the Biafran freedom fighters, all the Biafrans in the media, I am giving you an assignment. Please, I beg of you, do a research about this woman called Njideka Ojukwu. Make a video about her. Call her Mama Biafra, and slowly the 80 million Biafrans, they will walk away from Bianca and start seeing Njideka as the one we should honor, the one we should adore, the one we should appreciate as the real mother of Biafra. I rest my case for the last time. For those that have ears, let them hear. For those that have ears, let them hear.